Hello, and welcome back to our seated Tai Chi. Today we're going to do a little exercise I call pitter patter. And it is the pitter patter of our little feet. What we're going to try and do here is we're going to make sure as much as possible that we try and get at least a little bit off of the back of our chair. The further off the back of our chair, the better. And if we can get our sit bones essentially right to the edge of our chair, that is going to be best for this exercise, but it is absolutely a goal that can be worked up to. Do not go any further than you feel safe for any reason. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our sit bones are seated deeply into our chair and we are tall through the top of the head as much as we possibly can. Our arms can just be hanging down at our sides. We can grip the sides of the chair if we need a little extra support, or arms of the chair, anything like that. But if we can also just leave them hanging, that is best. So what we're going to be doing is challenging our core and our balance a little bit, as well as working on some hip flexibility. And we're going to start simply by kind of going up on the balls of one foot and balls of the other foot, and just slowly get ourselves into a little pattern of lifting our feet up and down, just, a couple of millimeters off the ground, getting a little pitter patter. And the big goal with this is I want to try and stay as stationary as possible. So I don't want to have myself twisting or tilting or anything with this. I want to try and stay as upright as possible and just let my feet and legs lift and set them down ever so lightly. When I feel that I'm comfortable there, I can do a couple of different things. I can slow it right down to challenge myself and make sure that I'm not tilting. If you're tilting at all, it's really going to show up the slower you go. I can speed it up a little bit, which might make it a little bit easier, but I could slightly raise my heart rate a little bit, get a little bit of a pitter patter going on. So depending on what I want to do, if I want to try and get a little bit of cardio exercise going, then this can work well for that. If I really want to work on the balance and stability, I really slow it down. And those sorts of variations apply to the whole exercise that we're going to do. But once we're comfortable with those, what we want to start doing is getting a little more range of motion out of our hips. And the way we're going to do that is by slowly, with each little pitter or patter, start bringing our knees in a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Trying to keep our knees aligned over our toes. So I don't want to be doing this sort of thing. I want to keep my legs absolutely lined up and get my feet nice and close together. And then once they're nice and close together, I'm going to start pitter-pattering them out, kind of centimeter by centimeter. Out, 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 out. And I'm just working my range of motion. All right. Seeing where things are comfortable, always working to the edge of uncomfortable. So we don't want to get to a point where anything causes us pain, or there's any like pinching or electrical shooting sensations, anything like that. But we just want to work up to the point where it's like, oh yeah, I don't normally move there. That feels a little bit stuck or a little bit, just gunked up in there. All right. And we can just work this in and out, gently, 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 increasing our range of motion always trying to stay as stationary as possible. Really engaging that core to keep us upright and balanced. And we just want to work our way in and out a few times, seeing if we can increase that range of motion a little bit each time. And I'm just letting my toes kind of go out and in, just naturally with my feet, until I'm back to a nice, vaguely parallel position in front of me. So that there has, we've explored our range of motion, and we've done a little bit of, cardio, especially if we do it a little bit faster. We've got a little bit of ankle and hip mobility going on in there. And we've been challenging our core and our balance, all in just, one simple little exercise like that. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of doing little pitter patters, we're going to do kind of larger pitter patters. So what I want to do is I want to try and pick up my knee like I was going to do a little pitter patter, move it as far to the outside of that edge of uncomfortable as I can, place the foot down, pick up the other one, staying upright, tall and straight, move it out as far as I can, and place it back down. Pick up the outside, draw it back in towards the center as close as I can. Pick up the outside, draw it into the center, and place it back as close as I can. Then I can reverse this whole thing. So large pitter patters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just do that a few times. Keep your arms out or at the sides. Again, we're working on core stability and hip movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever patterns, variations you like, but just get used to following that natural arc that your hip wants to move in as you swing it out to the side, out to the side, out to the side, and back in. Maintaining a straight up and down posture, and then return to our finished position, feet parallel. So have fun with that. Try it out. Challenge yourself. Like I say, just, get a little bit off the back of your chair if you can to possibly start off with. And as you grow more comfortable and more comfortable with this, just work your way further and further forward until you can hopefully get yourself to a point where you're just on the edge of your chair and you don't require any extra support because you are confident and secure in your core strength and balance. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you in the next one.